Welcome to the Sunday Comics. Welcome to the Comics News Wire, where we get our news from the comics newsroom found at comicbookadvocates.com. This show is anchored by Mr. Anderson, who is the unboxable, advocating creator known as the Indie Comics Devil, who will tempt you with his devilish tales of fetish, monsters, and more. Join him and his co-anchors as they give you the comics news coming off the wire. This show is brought to you in association with
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.
ComicBookAdvocates.com is the global digital Comic-Con, but it's more than that, and you can be more too. Be more than just a fan. Become an advocate for comics like ComicBookAdvocates.com is for their creators, for their crowdfunding, for the very books they're creating, because we love comics. Don't adjust your streams. We are early. We came in early to get all the stuff out of the way so we can have one solid hour of news, breaking our 1 hour rule because, Metaverse was this weekend. And we have the brand new stylings of Demon Phil's stuff, but he also wants to talk about his stuff, like all of my co-anchors always come on. And I usually have something to talk about, so we came in a little early to make sure that Demon Phil could introduce himself and say what's going on. So, Demon, you're up.
All right. Good morning, Demon Phil from the Demon Nation, and I will be taking over as the co-anchor for Monday. So if you were tired of seeing me already, sorry about your luck, but you're going to be seeing me more often now. So I have, of course, my shows, which are on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern. That's my interview shows, which is the hell of a show. And then on Saturdays is Unscripted, which is at 11 p.m. Eastern on YouTube only. And that YouTube channel, we have the links and everything for that as well. But if you look down here at the bottom where it says Demon Nation, look up Demon Nation on YouTube and you will find my channel there. To go ahead and talk about what projects I've got going right now, I actually have a company that I run, which is called Dark Enterprises, which does the marketing and management for crowdfunding campaigns. Right now, we have a couple of campaigns that we're working on, one of which is live, one of which is about to go live. Actually, two. I'm sorry. I forgot about the other one. We have so much going on here. Right now, we have Elysian Fields Pyramid Gambit, which is on Indiegogo. And it definitely needs some attention over there. If you'll go over there, take a look at it and support it in any way that you possibly can. There is a Support Our Troops tier that's on there, which is huge, because that way you can go in there and not only support the troops by going ahead and getting something and thinking that you've done something that way, but actually $10 of that tier goes to the Special Forces Trust Fund. So Michael Odin would be very happy to see more of that money going to the Special Forces Trust Fund, because they've set up a deal on there. So that is Elysian Fields Pyramid Gambit on Indiegogo. Tomorrow, I am working on a campaign that launches tomorrow, which is the 13th. We chose that day for a reason, because 13 is a lucky number for a lot of people, some not so much. Tomorrow is Belial 2, Chuck Pinot and Sean Barbour. So that one should be launching tomorrow with no hitches, as long as 13 is a lucky number for us still. And we'll keep you posted as to what's going on with that one, but some great stuff that's available on there. And then on the 19th of October, we have Lone Wolf Comics is going to be launching the Night Wolf trade paperback. That'll be launching on the 19th at 7 p.m., I believe, Central, is whenever that'll be launched. So be watching for that one, and we'll actually have a special show where we'll be doing a launch party for that. So a lot of things going on, a lot of things happening within the world of Dark Enterprises and Demon Nation. And if you're not a part of the Demon Nation, jump on board, see what's going on, get on the YouTube channel, get on the Facebook channel, and see what's happening.
All right, and very excited about all those projects. We're going to be talking about all that in the next couple of days. Here's how it's going to go today. We got to run through a lot of stuff. This is the most supersized packed show we've ever had, because, of course, Metaverse was this weekend, where they took New York Comic Con and XMCM and put them together. Just a ton of news. So we do have creator indie news at the beginning of this, as we always do, but we had to split the days. The weekend got its own thread for the first time ever, and Monday has its own thread. So we're going to get as much to you as we can today. There will be overflow into tomorrow's show. Basically, if it was from Friday to Sunday, we put the indie news up. From Sunday to Monday, we're going to push that to Tuesday, unless it was time sensitive. And there didn't happen to be anything too time sensitive. And we're doing this so it doesn't get buried, because we have to separate the days. So gear up. Before we do that, this is our COMiX newsroom. You can enter in here by going to comicbookadvocates.com. And there you guys can see we have the video up already. I'm going to be talking about this. It's a free comic for me. It all started in New York Comic Con. We don't have time today. You want to read it? Read it. It's in the newsroom right now. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. We're going to have a headline today. We'll pick that a little later. And then, of course, Sunday Funnies was on, as well as Sunday Comics Brunch. You guys can check that out. And you guys can hear I'm talking really fast because we got to get to it. We're going to be talking about the Animaniacs, the death in the family, and we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of other stuff. Most importantly, if you guys have something you want us to cover, please go down here to our mailroom within our thread and just send us a message. That's how simple it is. We get it right away, and we wind up putting it on the show. All right, and crowdfunding. Real quick, we want to give some love to some crowdfunding campaigns over the weekend that made their nut, as it were. Johnny Phantasm is now on demand. Don't worry, you can still get it, but they celebrated a success after 60 days of great campaigning. Decisions fully funded. Congratulations to Martin Piero and his group behind it. I forgot what he calls it. Sorry, Martin. Maybe we can talk about it tomorrow, because we'll do the official announcement later today. I can't think of his brand right now, but he did a great job. Our friend Oswald, again, Fallen Gods, made his flexible goals, so he made enough to do it. And then Indiegogo, you have to make $100. You don't make $100, they don't give you any money. Trust me, I learned that the hard way. Vantage In-House did an amazing job. They have successfully funded today. I'm a proud backer. Could not be more excited about this. Is the Troubled Love. Congratulations to all of you guys. This week, we're going to see the following campaigns ending. Drexel ends on the 15th. And let's see, what do we got? Holt, unfortunately, this one was halted. We haven't gotten the answer. I left it here because I tried to reach out to the creator. The creator has not answered us yet. So you won't be seeing that unless we get an update from them. But we hope he tries again. Swords of Justice has funded. Congratulations. And that is going to be going off. Oh, actually, it's today. I don't know why that was out of place, but it's actually today. It says at 12:01 a.m., so it might actually be, yeah, it already funded. Congratulations to Top Secret Press. For some reason, it was out of place. I'm glad we look into these things. And the regulators are going to be ending. If you ever want to know when they end, I have it down here at the bottom. It looks like what happened is one of the campaigns had an extension, and it threw off all the numbering. And that happens every so often. So this ends on the 14th, so we'll be talking about that in the next couple of days, the 10th anniversary of Amazonian. That's on the 18th, so we'll talk about that. And XCT, believe it or not, is already gone. It feels like it just showed up, and it's gone in 6 days. And then Hybrids is finally going to wrap up its world tour, both on Kickstarter and Indiegogo, this Sunday on the 18th. We're super excited. We're going to get to all of that stuff. But today, we have to dive quickly in. And we are going to start early because we're going to need every minute we can. Here's the headlines from this weekend. And we're going to start with the indie and how this is going to work. So, I'll read 3 and then Demon's going to read 3. There's not going to be a lot of time for back and forth between me and Demon. So we apologize ahead of time. We're just trying to get you all the news we can today. So, hey, let's get it started. This is 55% funded for Catch the Crazies. Glad you caught up. The backers are coming. Keep running until we have enough to catch the crazies. Daphne is going to be talking about, I want to say it's Egor Raven. That's what it is. And I am going to open this up because I want to give her the love that she deserves. And this is a complex and rich fantasy involving multiple competing factors when even normal friends may have conflicting interests. The half-human, half-unicorn Ego Raven, there we go, is a unique twist to the heroine who's outcast for being different. Ego Raven is an exciting start to a large-scale epic fantasy adventure. It's from Ben Lacey, Shark of War. Sign up now. This looks exciting. We can't wait to talk more about it in the coming weeks. Daphne, keep feeding us stuff. And finally, some good news from Tom Rapu. And it is the following list of upcoming shows in Florida. That's right. There's actually a list of shows coming up in Florida, including Orlando Toy Con, which is happening I guess it just happened, actually. I hope it went well. The 24th, there's a card show. Still no Comic Cons, but I'm sure there's some creators trying to get in there. And there's also going to be a Hot Wheels show. Then November 8th is going to have the Tampa Collectors. You notice there's all toy shows for some reason. The Infinity Toy and Holiday Convention. I don't know. This might be one I look into. Maybe I can get in there and do some holiday stuff. It's right before Christmas, so it's an awkward time, but who knows? Maybe I'll try to do it. It's Kissimmee, Florida, not too far. Then I'm excited to announce that D-Land, Florida Paper and Postcard Expo is going to be happening. D-Land is going to be a great place to be. Gulf Coast is having something, as well as January 15th, Reming's Antique Extravaganza. Central Florida Comic-Con is happening at the RP Funding Center, the 16th to the 17th. I'm actually going to have to look into that. That was actually a pretty good show last year. And D-Land Comics and Collectibles shows January 17th as well. And then we got some stuff in February. I'm not going to read all of it simply because, in all honesty, we don't know if these shows are actually going to show up. So, and this is just from the thing. Apparently, something else got canceled. So since this was posted, something has already been canceled. So keep in mind that things change. And Demon Phil, you're up. You're going to talk about all the new co-anchors that we announced over the weekend.
So I am here on Mondays. So you got me on here as co-anchor on Mondays. You've got C. Michael Lanning, who's going to be on the Friday. And then Meredith is going to be taking on Thursdays as co-anchor on here as well. And then it looks like we've got Michael Oden, or Moden, is going to be taking over on Tuesdays. So we have got the Rat Pack of sorts going ahead and taking over on this.
And I want to stress we are looking for other anchors to join this. The more anchors we have, it's just going to be better. We'll mix different personalities. It'll be something that's interesting. We're building something here that's going to help the entire industry be part of the wave forward. And some of that wave forward is hanging out with people, talking about comics. And Sunday Comics Brunch is all about that, where we dine on comics and headlines. Had a great show this weekend. One day we'll get Demon Phil to wake up early enough to be on it with us. But yeah, I hear he goes into 2 a.m. with his show Saturday night. So I don't know. I'm not holding my breath too much. And Niles Scalea had Pop XP, A Century of Horror. This was a 1934 pre-code horror film. So if you're into that, definitely something you should check out. And Dwayne Showtime Robinson gave us this amazing look at his upcoming project. Here is another from Salvation Issue 1. After a tragic accident, a mother is now left alone. Van tried to console the mother, but find out what caused the events and more. Demon Phil, look what's going on with the crazies.
Psycho Crazy. Hey, everyone, have you seen this? Here is the hip, cool trailer introducing you to the Crazies, who now are immortalized in an upcoming comic book. You guessed it. George Medina, the Dreamer, and Sam Vera, the Crazy Man. Both are trying to catch the Crazies, but they need your help to do it. This is a great book for kids and everyone, really, with cool art and fun times. So meet the cast and pledge this book, and that promises the fun and excitement of this trailer times 100. They need you, yep, you, to get them to this mark. Help us catch the Crazies. And we are in the last couple of days. I think we only have 2 days left in the Comic Unity Online Comic-Con, and this is CB Zane showing some interior work from Mighty Might, which is part of the 3 stories that'll be inside the book. So do not miss out on that. That is definitely something we're looking forward to. Might drop. And then Kevin Parent Rodatelli, I'm hoping I got that right. My new comic novel is now on Preview's website, October catalog. Ask your comic book store, share this link, share. Thank you for your supporting us, and it's really appreciated. The Freak Snow Washed in Blood.
Congratulations to him getting picked up for Diamond. Spectrum versus the Gloom Gang. Oh, no. This is a great comic book that actually is representative of many different things. And I'm very excited about it. This is also doubled up for some reason. I knew that just looking at it a few minutes ago. They didn't have time to fix it, but they're 53% funded. Now that Spectrum 2 Kickstarter is at 53%, here is a little halfway there comic. Remember the Hostess Fruit Pies ads from the 1970s? Meet Monstest. Fruit Pies starring Spectrum in this ad. I used to like those Hostesses ads. They were really good. And they were also around in the 80s and 90s, by the way. Mm-hmm. Of course, Hostess is no longer the company it once was. I believe it got bought out fully now, and parts of it got sold off. You'd have to look up to see where, but what you don't have to look up because it's right here is Daphne giving us the new episode from J.D. Calderon's Indie Comics Explained, featuring Sam and George talking about the Catch the Crazies Kickstarter. So definitely check that out. Some big news for you to talk about, apparently, because this is up your alley, Demon Phil.
Belial 2, Make Mine a Double, is going live tomorrow, October 13th. The Hell Adventure comedy is coming, and you are going to want in. The first 50 backers get a free Belial coaster with their rewards. Follow now and beat the crowd. You do not want to miss out on this coaster, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And check out this amazing art.
And I believe this is from the Invincible. I believe that's going to be on Netflix.
No, this is The Trouble with Love.
Oh, this is Love. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, check that out. Here, let me blow it up so you can read it. Because I know it's a little hard on. This art just blew me away.
Well, you got to remember I'm old, so I got to see it larger. Victor Dandridge Jr. is feeling excited. Ladies and gents, indie publishers and pros, it is my extreme pleasure to introduce you to an artist who needs to be on your top 10 list. Make some noise for Keith Haynes, a Tennessee-based creative who knocked out this astonishing piece featuring Apex Prime, The Trouble with Love. He is literally just breaking into the industry and will be opening his commission list for posters, pinups, and variant covers soon. Shoot him a friend request and keep his name in your immediate rotation for go-to hit makers. And I will be doing that because I was mistaken on who that was and what art that was, because that is nice.
Right. This blew me away. And of course, keep up with CNW over the weekend. This is our Twitter. So when you're on the weekends and you want to know, well, the guys aren't on, the guys and gals aren't on talking about the news, that's okay. We have a Twitter account, which we still update over the weekend, that gives us the news live. This is just me talking about motivational stuff. I know it's been a rough couple weeks, and I added that way before we actually got all the news that was coming out of New York Comic Con. So we're just going to quickly go over that. And this is for today. And this is Demon Phil. What's Demon Phil up to? You're up.
I have been named as the digital marketing specialist. Earth Moon Trading Company and everything is Rob Motari. I am working as the marketing specialist on this project for Night Wolf Volume 1 trade paperback. Kickstarter launches Monday, October 19th at 8 a.m. Eastern. Oh, we lost it.
That didn't work well, now did it? I'm trying to open it up, and for some reason it's giving me trouble. Like every time I try to open it.
And if you're not a member of the Wolf Pack, you definitely need to get on there.
There it is.
There is more involved in this than you think, though. So get over there to click on this link, get on there, and get reminded, because there's a contest that's going on as well. And if you're not familiar with the contest, as soon as you go over there and look at it, you'll get some more information on that. If you need more information than that, reach out to me or Rob Multari, and we will be glad to give you any other information on there.
All right. And this is interesting.
And this one is John Celestri. In the spirit of underground comics of the 1960s, I'm adding a mature series under the Johnny's Mind Comics label.
Welcome to the show, my friend. Take a seat. We got some news from Dwayne Showtime Robinson. Let him know about the Immortal.
Immortal. Hey, everyone. Today I wanted to talk about one of our future projects. This is Immortal, a story about David Morris, who during an alien invasion, he develops the ability to be immortal. The story takes place more than 100 years after he saves the world. Now David is a hollow man because of the pains and hardships that have befallen him. Through it all, he has tried to remain a respectable and inspiring lifestyle in front of the cameras, but deep inside, he is broken.
That sounds powerful. I'm looking forward to that, my man. You definitely got me interested in that. So, also interested in the new news from Richard Rivera over at Scoot. They're getting Stanley. This is by our good friend Austin Janowski. As many people are dealing with record heat, what better Scoot Saturday morning spotlight than Stanley and the Snowman, created by Austin Janowski. Scout Comics proudly presents Stanley the Snowman in a delightful all-ages series coming in 2021. Austin celebrates 25 years in the comic book industry and has worked for Marvel, IDW, Dynamite Entertainment, Image Comics, Devil's Due, First Comics, Space Goat, Elias, and others. Please cool down and enjoy this fantastic samples from Stanley. More details coming soon. He'll be joining the Scoot family, it seems. This looks exciting. Can't wait to learn more about it. I'm sure Jax will dig it. And you can talk about this one because you know more about it than I do.
Well, it figures it would happen. You need to jump over there and find out what's going on with the Elysian Fields Pyramid Gambit campaign. If we hit, I believe it's 15,000 on here, then this figure will be available in a tier. I believe Michael Odin is only doing 10 of them, if I'm not mistaken, is what we agreed upon. Only 10 in existence we made. And they are going to be limited edition, serial numbered, all that fun stuff, but they're going to be large scale 3D printed sculptures that are going to be made to go ahead and coincide with the campaign itself. So you do not want to miss out on that.
All right. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. And remember, we need you. That's right. Would you like to co-anchor or would you like to be a co-anchor of creative news, help advocate and build a name for yourself as an advocate to comics? Apply below and apply in our email section. The reason we're doing this, guys, is to help the industry. And being part of this not only helps you, but it helps other people. And it's just that simple. If that's not good enough for you, please don't waste my time applying. But if that sounds like it's for you, jump on the team, become a reporter, become a Comic-Con reporter. We're going to do many things. This is only the beginning. Jump on it with us. And Monday's headlines, like we said, we're going to go into a different section. There's not a lot to talk about with Indie on Monday. I deliberately did that because I didn't want to bury this story because I know it's about to hit. We're 21 minutes into this, and I'm already starting to sweat. Here we go, Demon. It's going to get big. This is brought to us. This is Mainstream Market Watch, brought to us by Indie Volt. Check out Indie Volt on Roku and Google Play today. And make sure to check out last week's headlines and see what won. We have a great contest. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but here we go. 3 for you, 3 for me. Go for it.
All right, MODOK, first 2 clips of Marvel television show released. And then WWE draft, they did the draft again, or they're starting it. They're actually stretching it out a little bit. Every pick from night 1 on WWE SmackDown. So they're moving people around between the shows.
Yeah, tonight is the last night. That's why it was poignant to keep it here. Tune in tonight on USA Network to see the rest of the draft.
Yep. And New York Comic-Con 2020, the biggest news and trailers off of IGN, and there's a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah, too much for us to cover. You guys have no idea what's happened. We're only giving you headlines, and please go back to these links and check out what happened. This was an amazing weekend, including Star Wars. Ewan. Thank you. I always get his name wrong. So the way you look at it, it looks like Ian. Ewan McGregor confirms that we're going to have an Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and it's already begun filming. Unfortunately, though, if you're an Eternals fan, not only was the movie delayed, but the comic books have both been delayed till 2021. And an interesting thing, HBO Max rewrites Alan Scott's comic book history while promoting the upcoming Green Lantern. And that Green Lantern we found out last week was going to be around Guy Gander. So this is interesting. I wonder why they're messing with him. Let's go on. You're up.
And as you already said, Marvel plans to postpone the Eternals comic. The series, comic, and movie all postponed. On the Comics Newswire, we've got, I'm looking forward to this one, Transformers Beast Wars series coming to celebrate 25th anniversary. Love the original. Love to see what they're going to do with the new ones on here. And there's going to be a new series of comics, if I'm not mistaken, as well, as I read on this.
Yes. Oh, man. So excited about that. Huge fan.
And good news, the comics biz remains as resilient as ever. So whenever they say comics are dead, not true, my friend. They are rising.
Every time someone says that, I look at them and go, this is the 10th year I've heard that. And I've been in comics going on 20 years. Maybe it's just a few you need to go away because you want this to die. You know, imagine being in a room with someone in a hospital bed and everyone tells you that they're getting better and they're going to be released soon. And there's that one guy in the back corner. I don't know. I think he's going to die. That's what you guys are doing. Comics aren't dying. They're constantly evolving. And if you think you're dying, you're part of the cancer that's dying away from it. So love that article. Love that headline. Wasn't happy about this, though.
Alan Moore explains why he will never, ever return to comics.
Comics will break your heart, kid. Comics will break your heart. And I'll take over from here for a couple of them. The Stand, the new trailer debuted at New York Comic Con, bringing Stephen King's terror to life. And that's brought to us by comicbook.com. And CBR had the Alan Moore series. The interview crossover team teases the Image Comics must read. And this is going to be an interesting thing. This is Donny Cates' new thing. It's going to be weird. It's going to change the game. That's brought to us by CBR today. And The Boys star Aya Cash addresses season 3 return after finale. Will she be back? If you're a Boys fan, you know, it's going to be hard to bring her back. She's going to have a Vader outfit. You know what I'm saying? She's going to have a Vader outfit. All right, so you're up, Phil.
New WandaVision promo image shows new look at Marvel Disney, and this is of course, with the what is it called again? With the new show,
WandaVision.
Is it called WandaVision officially?
Yeah, no, it's called WandaVision. This is just set photos, and it gives you an idea of they're definitely jumping between decades. I'll say that, and that's brought to us by comicbook.com.
Snowpiercer season 2 reveals January 2021 premiere date. Looking forward to this one as well.
That as well is brought to us by comicbook.com.
And here we go again with more characters coming out. Spider-Man 3, Tom Holland teased that Doctor Strange team up in 2019. So whenever on the next Spider-Man movie, we're going to look at having Doctor Strange mixed up into the mix on here somehow, some way, which is somehow going to tie into the Spider-Verse thing that they're building off of, is what I'm thinking. That's my speculation anyway.
Yeah, and Tom Holland is what I think is going to happen is he's going to. I'll quickly say this because it's news and we'll speculate a little because we've been talking about this a lot. I think Tom Holland is going to be they're going to try to arrest him and he's going to be taken away to Spider-Verse, and we're never going to see that trial till the end of the film. They are going to dupe us and make him come back and be arrested, and we'll see Murdoch representing him, and I think we'll get a tease of Kingpin to build towards another movie. I think they're trying to do something here. I think Spider-Man's going to wind up in a different Marvel movie. Mark it on the calendar. I think they're trying to make a new team, and I think it might be bringing back the Defenders.
In a better way, hopefully.
Well, remember, Doctor Strange was part of the Defenders for a while.
Yes.
People don't realize that. So this could be a whole new version of the Defenders. I hope they bring back the original team that was there, kind of explain where they've been. Tell us if Luke Cage went real bad. Maybe he's the bad guy thereafter. I don't know. Maybe Kingpin Luke Cage got some problems. We're going to have to tune in. I love the fact that Tom Holland constantly tells people about things, and we go back a year later and we're like, oh, damn. Right. And by the way, that was brought to us by comicbook.com. This is a sad story coming out of Arizona. ArizonaCentral.com gives us this news. After a death involving a distracted driver, a 3-year-old Flagstaff boy becomes a comic book hero. Love the fact that they did this for the family. Love the fact that this is expressive. This child will live on forever. I hope to be able to get that comic in my hand. We are going to reach out to that little boy who is making all the comics for to try to fight the 2020 bug that's going around. So we're going to try to stay in touch with this too and see if maybe they get a bigger distribution. I hope so. Netflix renews Jurassic Park Camp Cretaceous for season 2. If you haven't watched that, don't write it off as just a kid's show. That's got some deep stuff in it. I watched it with Jax, and I was like, shh, quiet, Jax. Shh, I can't hear, Jax. Calm down, calm down. Both of those are this is brought to us by comicbook.com. As well, AZ Central, there we go, a Spanish comic. Spanish comics don't sell. Phoenix artist fights to prove the comic book industry wrong. So they're bringing a Spanish-based comic book and translating it into English and giving it to an American audience, and we're going to see what happens. I wish them the best of luck. That art looks amazing. Definitely something I want to check out. And you're up with some news.
Black Widow is showcased on the new variant comic book covers inspired by the Marvel, and we're left on the end on that. But Black Widow is showcased on the new variant, so there's a new variant coming out.
Well, look at it. Look at the variant cover. Look who it looks like. So they're trying to integrate the two different looks, and maybe Black Widow from this point on will look more like Scarlett Johansson. I think that'd be a great nod to her and her service to the character that she's done over the last decade. Some Scout, by the way, that was brought to us by comicbookmovie.com. Scout comic news.
Newswatch Scout Comics for New York Comic Con exclusive comics for 2020 are now available.
And Meredith Lockman said, I interviewed Aya Cash for the horror movie Scare Me. And that's going to be awesome. You got to check that out. That's in the Geek Insider YouTube page now. And this is awesome. Scout making mainstream news on the ComicWatch.com. We love to see them break out. I don't know if we'll be able to call them an indie publisher next year. They're just going to be a comic book publisher. You're up.
Ready Player 2. Ernest Cline reveals a synopsis of his sequel novel, New York Comic Con. Yes, yes, yes. Bring back another one.
And one final bit of news for you.
How Star Wars High Republic is exploring new mysteries of the Force.
So this is going to open doors. Here comes the time travel. There'll be no more Last Jedi. There'll be no more Last Jedi. There'll be no more Last Jedi. All right, moving on. This looks awesome. I didn't get to fully watch the thing, but what I saw, I liked. I'm going to go back and watch this when I can. It was a busy weekend. I can't tell you. This was the busiest weekend I've ever had with comic book news. I did not expect it. I knew New York Comic Con. By the way, a lot of love to New York Comic Con. Reed Pop, you did well. You did well. A lot of it was pre-canned, but it felt exciting despite being pre-canned. You guys sent out emails. You guys were on it. You were on social media. You were on Twitter. You proved that you could do it even virtually. Hats off to you. You and DC, definitely the heroes of 2020. Everyone's got to look at what you did. It's a big improvement from your first Metaverse. Very well done. St. Jude's charity, when we get the final number from Mike Negan, we'll tell you. Last I checked, $76K, still making money for the St. Jude's charity. Nothing but love for them. This was from the Metaverse. This was Resident Alien, is set for a January 2020 release. This looks fantastic. I am in.
How can you go wrong?
Oh, man, yeah, he is so good. I can't wait. Cannot wait to see more of it. They're going to have a Daleks Doctor Who game. And it was about the most underappreciated monsters in Doctor Who. So if you're a Doctor Who fan, this is going to be a good year for you coming up. And Colin Trevor on how Camp Cretaceous fits into the larger story. So if you've ever watched this, you realize, wait a minute, some of these scenes kind of look familiar. Guess what? It's for a reason. You got to check out this to find out more. That's brought to us by sci-fi.com. By the way, the last two articles were sci-fi.com, and the top one was the workprint.com. And again, we try to bring on different sites to give love to different sites because they're covering what we love. They're covering the fandom we love, so we try to give as many people love as we can. I'm going to take this one and then pass it back to you, Demon Phil. I watched the season finale, and it does, oh my goodness, the ship that you see, I won't spoil it, but if you're a Star Trek fan, I can say it to you in code. Jonathan Frakes. There you go. That's season finale. Think about that. And there's a ship you've never seen before. Mind blown. This is definitely something I look forward to. They did a great job. I didn't think I'd like it, but I wound up loving it. And I think this was Star Trek's answer to Orville. And I'm not going to pick which one's better. I just like them both. And you can do that in fandom, believe it or not. You don't have to. I know they say verses all the time online, but guess what? You don't have to. And You don't have to pick one of the 6 to go away. That's not how it works. Even Phil, you're up.
Even virtually, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Booth at New York Comic Con 2020 is a premier destination for con-goers. They're bringing it back again.
It never went away. It was still going around, man. That thing's been around. And that was brought to us by Newsweek, of all things. Newsweek talking to us about that. Newsweek.com. Check it out.
And this, again, is talking about, watch Polygon's new look at Star Wars The High Republic from New York Comic Con 2020. Star Wars making more news because they are trying to get a bigger voice out there on what's going on with Star Wars. I think there's a lot to go on in the next couple of years that they're going to try to do some things over and make some changes, hopefully.
I want to see the history of it. I love the fact they're going backwards. And Yoda can be involved in this. Remember how old Yoda is. So we're going to see a younger, possibly angrier, maybe speaking correctly Yoda. I don't know. Maybe he does it to screw people. We're going to find out. That's brought to us by Polygon.com. And you're up with this Star Trek news that's so exciting.
Star Trek Prodigy recruits Kate Mulgrew, Voyager's Captain Janeway.
And this is for kids. This is going to be awesome, Nickelodeon. The Star Trek's blown up in a way it's never done before. They're trying to do different things. I applaud them. It's about time. Boldly going where no other franchise has gone across the spectrum trying to, Star Wars. Give Star Wars credit. They did kids stuff for a while. They've given up recently, but maybe we're seeing the return to that. Invite children back to fandom, guys. Come on, give them the content they want. Speaking of Star Trek, some more news. I'll let you have this one.
Watch new Star Trek Discovery Season 3 teaser. New York Comic-Con panel reveals more 32nd century stuff on here.
Hey, Lisa. Oh, man, I have so many theories. If you want to geek out about Star Trek, just hit me a message. I watched the trailer, and I already have my theories. Already got a ton of theories. That's brought to us by TrekMovie.com. Shaquille O'Neal Zoom bombs the Boys New York City panel, and he wants to be part of the 7.
Oh, yeah.
Not if there's going to be free throws. Not if there's going to be free throws. I'm sorry. EW covered that. That's so exciting. I love to see the Boys blow up based on a comic. Again, a comic book blown up big because there's so much great source material. And I'm so excited by this. I cannot wait to see if they get Shaquille O'Neal to somehow, it might not be a full thing, but it'll be something. And if you're a geek like me, you'll hear this and go, I need that. Even though you don't, you're going to need it. It's Master Universe's iconic Castle of Grayskull playset. I remember my mom, she's passed away, so I won't say anything bad here. I'll just tell you what happened. My mom threw it away when I was in school one day. My heart was broken. I was like 12, and I was still playing with it. I think that was the problem for her. If she only knew where I'd be now, she maybe would have. No, she wouldn't have. I'm like, let's not rewrite the history. Mom, stop throwing away your kids' stuff. The things I throw away, Jax is in the room for. I'm like, do you want this anymore? Okay, that's on you, buddy. That's on you. And that was brought to us by comicbook.com. And here's 10 unappreciated X-Men heroines from with amazing powers from CBR. This is worth a look. Because, again, I love X-Men, and I'm always going to love X-Men. And they brought up the character. I've loosely stayed with X-Men. I haven't liked a lot of the storytelling. It's getting a lot better. Don't get me wrong. I've been reading some of the stuff nowadays. I'm happier with it than I've ever been in this millennium. I still miss the 90s. Oh, there was a magic with the 90s. And they're trying to capture it. You can tell because they're diving back into the New Mutants. They're playing with the X-Force, but they just don't get it yet. Marvel, I can fix it for you. I'll do it for you. One-time offer. Send me an email. Speaking of, CBR.com is the one who covered that. You're up, Phil.
Black Comic is becoming a movie. Ask, what if only black people had superpowers? This actually looks kind of interesting to me because you're not only putting it just on black people per se, but it's like you're spinning it down to where it's just a smaller group of people that are going to have powers. How are they going to be able to go ahead and explain that, and how is that going to work? I'm interested to see how this is going to work.
That story is brought to us by MovieWeb.com. More information.
Star Wars Ewan McGregor confirms when Obi-Wan Kenobi series begins. Well, he'll be in there.
Well, and it's an interesting nod to some information at comicbook.com. You got to check it out if you're a Star Wars fan. And here you go, some more X-Men news.
X-Men X of Swords kicks off with the perfect New Mutants cameo. And there it is.
New Mutants. That's what I'm saying. And that's brought to us by CBR. Comicbook.com tells us that the Boys showrunner teases Supernatural Jensen Ackles will be part of the Boys season 3. This is exciting. I don't like I don't dislike Supernatural. It's one of those things I can watch if it's on, but I've kind of I never got to get into it when it first started because I was in the middle of a marriage, working out, training to be a wrestler, and on top of that, making comic books. I didn't have a lot of time because I was married. The wife got to pick some things. She didn't have bad taste. I'm not going to dig on her. I'm just saying that wasn't something she wanted to watch. And by the time I went to start looking at it, I was so far behind. I'm like, I can't. One day, I'm going to do that trip. Because I know the series is ending, so I figured I'll let it end and watch. But the things I have seen, the actors in that are superb. So this is exciting to me. I always thought he should be Jason Todd in the live-action DC movies. So I'm kind of excited about that. That's from comicbook.com. And HBO Max's Green Lantern showrunner almost directed Ezra's Flash movie, believe it or not. So this is exciting. They've been working back and forth. I love what's going on over there at HBO Max. They're going to be getting my money very soon, as soon as I start getting some money. So, by the way, if you want to buy my comics, please do. Comicbook.com brings us that. Demon Phil, you're back up.
Back to the Future, how Marty and Doc Brown really met. that's interesting because now we're going to go ahead and start going back to the future.
Yeah, and I peaked. It's interesting. I dig it. I dig it. And of course, they're doing that amazing crossover Transformers right now. And if you didn't know this, there's going to be a toy. They're making the DeLorean. I almost say Mandalorian because I was teaching my sister the other day to say Mandalorian. Just think of the DeLorean. The DeLorean is going to be a Transformer available at Target, Walmart, and Amazon now for pre-orders in January. It'll be after the thing. So that was brought to us by CBR. And more information about the boys, Demon.
Showrunner reveals season 3 will begin filming and when that's going to be happening. That is just amazing. Plus, I know they signed up for a season 4 as well. So 3 and 4, I believe they're filming simultaneously and they're going to release separately.
I hope they do. ComicBook.com. With this day and age, it's probably smarter to do it because you don't know what tomorrow brings. And one last sad bit of news for you to read before I take back over.
Netflix cancels TV adaptation of Mark Millar's The Magic. Ooh, order comic. Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, ScreenRant.com brings us the sad news that one of the first Millar projects has already been canceled. However, in fairness, they did say that they will re-explore it. Some of this had to do with the current situation of 2020 and filming restrictions, and they wanted to take a step. I think they're just taking a step back, to be honest with you. Re-examining it and having further discussions. I think we'll see that in a year come pop up. A year from now, we'll probably see it. But a lot of these shows, we're starting to see cancellations just based on ability to film and where the filming's taking place. Because there's only so many places you can film, and now on the studios, they only allow so much filming to happen at once. It's a nightmare situation for entertainment that's live action. And this is your last one. Oh, no, this is mine. That's right. I take over. The Walking Dead's cast and showrunners teach the future of the Walking Dead universe. So they're going to be moving on from their flagship show, just like CSI did. And now they're going to have different spin-offs, and the universe is going to continue. It's interesting. They have the younger kids with the future generation. They have Fear the Walking Dead, which is, I think, taking the time jump as well. And they're going to have a spin-off between these two characters. So if you're a Walking Dead fan, the future is very bright, even though some of the characters might not make it there. Uh-oh. Stay tuned to see who makes it past season. What was it? Season 11 is the last one?
I believe so, yes. They're in their
11 or 12. Yeah. Sue and Tell, the virtual championships of cosplays winners announced. And, you know, a nod to cosplayers, the New York Comic Con found a way to make it work. They showcased it, and they made things exciting for cosplayers. God bless New York Comic Con, always trying to figure it out. And this is just repeated from, I guess, earlier, just happened to be there. So I'll move on to the next one. The Stand, M-O-D-O-K, MODOK, Resident Alien, and more. The best trailers. So many trailers came out. This is brought to us by sci-fi.com. This was their picks. Demon Phil, tell them about that, man.
So comic book preview, Detective Comics 1028, and this is the cover for it. That actually looks pretty good on there. I don't know who created that one.
And there is a preview. If you click that link from Flickering Myth, they give you the first couple pages. Anytime you see comic book preview from Flickering Myth, you get to kind of read the first couple pages. Whoa. That's all I'll say. All right, Phil, tell them about this, the great news for Star Trek fans.
The Star Trek TV franchise expansion planned through, yes, you see that correctly, 2027.
Yep. And that's from comicbook.com. And here we go. This is interesting. Perfect timing for the season, and Demon's going to love it.
Friday the 13th, the Jason X sequel comic is even crazier than the movie. I'm interested to see this because the movie was, well, I'm not going to talk about it too much because I'll end up losing friends on that one. But looking forward to the comic to see what they can do on here because there was a lot of things they could have moved forward with.
And that was brought to us by ScreenRant.com. I'll take over for a few of them before we switch to, believe it or not, this is still just the weekend news. We haven't even gotten to Monday's news yet, guys. Woo! This is Sword. Everything you need to know about the Marvel, the Marvel Comics Group and how it may affect the MCU's future. So if you don't know what Sword is, and I knew Sword because of X-Men and the interaction that they've had, I've never really liked Sword. Sword's like, the quickest way I can describe it, and you should read more about the cinema in the Cinema Blend, there we go, .com article. Sword is like S.H.I.E.L.D. in space, and they're just as annoying. They're just as annoying. But definitely check it out. Werewolf. Donny Cates teases mysterious new Image Comics title. And I know this is a double or a triple or a quadruple, but this is how much it's getting covered. CBR. People are excited about this. Donny Cates at Image Comics. What does that mean for his Marvel work? Is he done with Marvel if this takes off? People are speculating. People are wondering. I personally think he's going to go and work as many places as he can. Great creator, re-energized a lot of different comic lines. I hope he stays around for a very long time so we can continue to talk to him about it. And this one's for you, Demon Phil. I know you're going to like it.
Another comic book preview that you can go ahead and click on here. DC, The Doomed and the Damned, #1.
But read the 10. Look at the 10 thing in the left corner.
10 twisted team-ups straight from your nightmares.
Ooh, I'm going to the comic book store to get this one, that's for sure. That's from flickerandmyth.com. And some news about, this is a pretty good one, but good luck saying how that's supposed to say.
You give me the fun ones. All right, Sporian Girl, we'll go with that one. And Stray Cat battle aliens alongside Epic Merlonian in this new comic.
And I'm thinking we're going to blow this up because this is kind of an international news brought to us by Mothership.org. And this is from across the pond. I think it's interesting because you've even seen this character show up in We Bears at this point, and they're making it. And I think that's kind of cool. It talks about Singapore. How many times do we see comics made by creators made in countries outside of the United States or taking place in them? So I think that's kind of cool. I wanted to give some love to this. The artist has actually been working in comics as a comic book penciler and writer for 20 years, so we wanted to give him some love. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be, they launched on Indiegogo, so we're going to take a quick look over here on the Indiegogo. $41,000, and this is Starlight Cats. 41,000. Cats seem to be popular this year. You know, there's that Cat Dad, and there's that there was some other cat thing from Caleb also. So cats are in this year, and this kind of looks cool. We're not going to hit play because we don't even have time today. Maybe we'll try to look at this in the future. Sean Davis, if you know me somehow or are watching, please give us permission to play the video on the upcoming Wednesday backer pause at 11 a.m. All right, we got to get back to the news because there's still more to go. We're not even done yet. All right, here you go. You're up.
Another comic book preview. This is The Batman's Grave, #11.
And that's that new bad guy he's facing. Oh, my. So, ooh. And we're going to go over to the Monday Market Watch. Finally, we're going to get into the Monday headlines. It's been, where are we at? Almost an hour in, right? 13 minutes away from an hour. So, real quick, we were doing at the end of the week where we voted on headlines, but we literally had about 51 headlines. Mix in New York Comic Con, it would have been 100 headlines for you guys to choose. So instead, every day now, my sister's going to break it up and give us a weekly poll. The top 3 from the weekly poll, from the daily polls, the daily polls, the top 3 from the daily polls will go on to fight for the top spot of the week. So we put both polls from the weekend and the headlines for Monday. Here you go. You guys can choose. And like I said, the top 3 go on for a weekly vote. Yes, it's unfair to Friday, so Friday headlines are going to be a little bit because they don't get announced till later. Because I make these, I make the list of them, and my sister puts them in. Usually in the afternoons, I would expect these polls, but they'll be live all week, so you can vote. The only days that are really going to suffer, like Thursday and definitely Friday, because Friday the main poll goes live Friday evening. So Fridays, we're going to try to do interviews on Fridays too anyway, because Friday's usually a slower day for news because they save a lot of news for Friday evening. That's why that's why this Monday show has always been such a roller coaster. But here it is, both of the headlines from the weekend. We separated the weekend and Monday because it's been that kind of week. 61 options, Demon Phil. 61 options. That's how many we've just ran through. And we still have more. Like I said, we're probably going to hit 100 topics today. First time ever. Anyone at home, you want to go back and watch the videos, have that click thing, tell us how many we had, and we'll bring you on as a guest and we'll let you promote something. Not that we wouldn't do it anyway, but you'll just look cool because you had a little clicker thing that tells how many people walked in. All right, time to move on. Here we go. Make sure you check out what's crowdfunding right now. We did at the beginning of the Mainstream Market Watch. Again, it's brought to us by IndieVolt. And hey, Mom, we're on Roku TV, says that. And here we go. So This was actually from the weekend, and the headlines that we had from last week. But here it is, huge news. I'm going to let Demon Phil talk about this because I'm going to geek out.
Animaniacs Jurassic Park clip, and they're bringing back Animaniacs, which is phenomenal because it's been too long.
November 20th. Do not bother me. If November 20th has a show, it's canceled. It's canceled. It's it. We're not doing the news on November 20th. It's a Friday. Don't bother me. No, I'm kidding. It's Hulu, so there's only one episode a week, so I can still do the news. If it was Netflix, you'd all be asked out. And here's the official notification. The reboot is coming. Announced at New York Comic Con. Could not be happier. I was there when they first announced it was going to happen at, I want to say, MegaCon. It might have been at the time they were called SuperCons in Raleigh. But I remember when they first announced this, it took 2 years to get here. I could not be happier. And you think cartoons are easy. It's not always so easy to redo something. They had some red tape, and I'm sure that they had some censoring to get through. And I hope they went to Hulu, so they could get around censoring. I'm pretty excited about this. Death in the Family panel recap. This would have been something I would have sat through, and I do want to say, and I want to take just a minute, not having New York Comic Con breaks my heart. I actually will talk more about this in the coming days. I created a story that was going to be released at New York Comic Con. I have started my career. The first comic book I ever created, the first time people got to read it, was at New York Comic Con when I handed it out all the way back in 2012. It was printed. It was a Staples copy of a book, and it was headlines, and it was NY Arts, the thing I'm giving away for free this week, and I'm going to be giving away books for free. I'll talk about that later. The important part is so many people missed New York Comic Con. And I want to thank, again, Reed Pop. They did a great job. They made me nervous with their first Metaverse, but I think that was training day. For them, that was training day without Denzel Washington, and that's why it went wrong. They had brought Denzel, it would have been better. But, yeah, so I would have sat through this panel. I've won things at these panels, guys. I've always enjoyed. I didn't get to ask the questions this year. So I'm gonna quietly cry while Demon Phil takes over the news for a few minutes.
New York Comic Con, Maxwell Adams blending Batman with Mystery Inc. for Happy
Halloween.
So we're going to get, wait a minute, let me see if I can get this right. Ruby. Yeah, we're going to get Scooby-Doo mixed into this with Batman, which is going to be amazing.
And Elvira.
Yes.
And Elvira. And that's brought to us by sci-fi.com. And by the way, the New York Comic Con story was brought to us, believe it or not, by bubblebabbler.com. Never had that one on the show before. You're up.
How New York Comic Con's Metaverse delivered a classic con community experience.
And I do give them credit. They did. There were some things in there that the way that they used the technology, they obviously weren't using StreamYard. I think they took a lot from DC. Because this looked a lot different the first time around, and this time around, they definitely had a better show overall. And I was watching the content, the way it was released. They were supposed to have a virtual show floor that never loaded quite right, but at least they're trying. That could be the wave of the future. Excited to see what comes next. And this was brought to us by sci-fi.com, and this is something cool.
Every Netflix panel announcement at New York Comic Con 2020. What is on Netflix? That's interesting because there's been a lot of stuff that's been pulled recently, so you're waiting to see what's going to be added on to it, and they did that on purpose.
Oh yeah. This was cool, and it's from what's on Netflix.com. I didn't even know there was such a site. And of course, here's the Animaniacs news because I was so excited I put the video on the top because I'm a child that way. I don't know if you're a fan of Stargirl, but that blew me away. That came at the right time during this 2020 year. It was a show that we really kind of needed. And I think a lot of comic book fans really were like, oh, that's really good. Originally was only supposed to be a DCU, the streaming service, DC Universe show that got brought to CW during everything that was going on because we didn't get the end of the Batgirl series. That was supposed to end. There were a few other things that wind up. I believe they were going to try to actually have the spinoff from Arrow go live this summer, and it did not happen because of everything that happened. So Stargirl saved the day and is now part of CW. She's officially part of it. I don't know what that will mean for production value. Hopefully nothing, because that show was fantastic just the way it was. So credit to sci-fi.com for bringing us that. I'm excited about this. I don't know if you've seen this, Demon Phil. The women of the 355 break down their action-packed spy thriller at New York Comic Con. Have you heard about this? This is brought to us by EW.
I have not heard about this one.
So check it out. They bring 4 badass intel agents from the CIA, M6, and a Colombian. I don't know the Colombian name, and they didn't say the other brand that was in the trailer I saw. But they're bringing 4 badasses from 4 different intelligence service departments throughout throughout the world, not the United States, the world. And they are all together trying to combat a terrorist organization. This looks awesome to me. This is something I'm excited about. It looked good. I believe that's Bo Dallas. Is that her name? No. She's the kid of the redheaded guy. I'm drawing a mental blank. We're going so fast today. She's in Jurassic Park.
Do what?
Bo Dallas, the redhead from Jurassic Park.
I can't remember her name, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
I know it's Dallas something.
Yeah.
I just can't remember the rest of it, but I think she's in it. And I don't know the other actress except for her, and I'm drawing a blank on her name today. I don't know, but she's a famous actress as well, and I've seen her a bunch of things. I just feel like an idiot. I'm actually going to have to take a quick look now because I can't look this stupid, right? We're gonna have to read some names here. The actress, it doesn't. Oh, okay. I saw names. Oh, Demon Phil, I'm losing it. I'm losing credibility right now because I don't know names.
Penelope Cruz.
There we go. Where'd you see that?
I saw it as you were scrolling by.
Oh, there we go. Penelope Cruz. Here we go. The women plays. Okay, so Christian's character Mace is a CIA agent. Christina's character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe she's not who I think she is. Can't say that name is the British tech expert, and Kruger Marie is a German agent, and Fans Mi Xing is a Chinese spy, and then Penelope Cruz is the Colombian pharmacist. So I guess there's 5 if I'm counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. So there's actually 5 of them, not 4 of them.
Well, there's 4 of the spies, and then there's the
pharmacist,
the Chinese spy.
Yeah. So hey, it looks cool. I'm all in it, and I'm gonna. All right, I'm obsessing here. We got to move on. And get Borrelia pasta ready made. Here we go. Oh, The Walking Dead showrunner teases the future. It's probably just something that got doubled up because trying to keep track of 2 different days was hard. You're up.
Doctor Who: The Edge of Reality is bringing the Doctor Who's time-twisting adventures to games. So this is the one we were talking about with the Daleks earlier.
Yeah, but they're also introducing the fact that the Cybermen are going to be part of it. So that was kind of interesting. We're going to see that. And believe it or not, we actually got through it with just minutes to spare until our 1 hour mark. We have accomplished getting it done with an hour despite the early start. So we're actually going to end the program in an hour. I don't know how we did it, Demon Phil. Congratulations to you. Great job, man. That was pretty awesome. I appreciate it. Demon Phil, real quick, tell them how they can follow you.
All right, Demon Phil from the Demon Nation. I have Demon Phil's Hell of a Show is on Tuesdays and Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, Unscripted is on at 11 p.m. on the YouTube channel Eastern. Now, there is a Hell of a Show special tonight just because I couldn't fit it into my regular schedule because I am going to be a guest tomorrow on a different show. Tonight, I have Sora Sung on my Hell of a Show tonight. And tomorrow night, I will be a guest of Brian K. Morris on his show. So I will actually not be the host. I will be grilled on that show. So be over there, be watching, and be ready with your questions.
Tell Sora Sang about Barbara. All right, so that's it. That's it for today. Thank you, Demon Phil. I can't believe we got it done in an hour. We actually didn't need the extra 10 minutes, but we ran through that. You saw how busy this weekend was. Comics are not dying. Comics are just as exciting as they've ever been. Go out there, support it. Crowdfunding is blowing up. Give some love to some people on crowdfunding. If you have anything you want us to cover, send us an email. And, I mean, much love to everyone who tuned in and supported not only these shows, but any show, including Demon Phil's. It's so important to prove everyone wrong. When they say comic books are dying, You're the reason they're not dying. So thank you. Thank you for showing up. That's it. We'll see you tomorrow back for the news at 11. This has been a production of CNW, brought to you by Geek Insider and Comic Book Advocates.